Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
And it is Halloween. Sarah's dressed up like an elf or something.
I'm not an elf. I'm Santa Claus.
Christmas attire? Oh, Santa Claus, yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be a cold. It's already, this morning it's like 19, 20 degrees this morning, which is crazy.
Can I tell you what my costume is about? I'm not even meaning to dress up. I'm just freezing, and this is my house robe. That's a true story.
It's like a Snuggie.
I'm freezing cold, and so I have a Snuggie. Do you see it? Isn't it cute? And then I thought I would take it off before the podcast. But then I was like, wait a minute, it's Halloween. I'm just going to leave it on. It's going to be great. Anyway, you're welcome. So it's going to be a little chilly for the kiddos tonight. But Abby Dyer can tell you about that in a bit. We got some news for you. Autopsies are being performed on 2 inmates at the same jail who died in separate occasions recently. The deaths happened last week at the South Central Correctional Center in Licking. 2 male inmates, 2 men passed away, a 33-year-old on Thursday and a 43-year-old on Saturday. Investigators are now looking for their cause of death. See if there's anything going on there. A Springfield judge is moving to the Missouri Supreme Court. Governor Parson appointed Ginger Gooch to the state's high court. She comes from the Southern District Court of Appeals, where Governor Parson appointed her last year. For the first time in history, 4 of the 7 justices are women.
Yeah, that's interesting, and good for her. She's been up for a couple of Supreme Court bids, but now she's got it, so good for her.
Yeah, and at one point there were reports that she was the first Springfieldian in 100 years to be appointed to the Missouri Supreme Court. That's actually not true. John Holstein, who happens to be one of my close friends' dad, was appointed in 1989. So I just have to get that out there because the governor's press release apparently had that little fact on it, but that's not true.
Oh, really?
Look him up. Yeah, John Holstein, 1989. There you go.
Okay. All right. Springfield Police. Yeah, well done. You're a journalist. Well,
actually, I have a friend who's got a nose for news, and she let me in on the secret. So,
okay. Springfield Police are cracking down on speeders after several crashes that happened because of speed. In the first 6 months of this year, SPD officers have written 29% more tickets for speeding. And in the month of July, they kind of went wild. They really increased the ticket writing. 69% more tickets written for speeding than in July of last year. So,
yeah, but you know why they went crazy, right?
Be careful out there. Well,
because
of crashes. Yeah.
Bad crashes. There was a point the other day where I was looking at KY3, Color 10, the News Leader, and KTTS's websites, and almost every single story was a fatal crash on the front page. Different ones, different fatal crashes, but multiple stories of fatal crashes. It was weird. All of the websites, all of the news organizations, as a whole, I was like, wow, that's really wild. So that's why.
That's a concern.
Yeah.
Springfield Greene County Park Board Director Bob Belote is retiring. He's been director of the Park Board since 2012 and will head into retirement in January. So he's done a nice job at the Park Board. So congratulations, Bob, and enjoy retirement.
Yeah. A pharmacist. This is a cool story. A pharmacist is the recipient of this year's humanitarian award. Heather Lyons Burney will be honored at National Philanthropy Day, which happens at the end of November. She opened the My Neighbors charitable pharmacy in Branson this year to provide access to prescription meds to people who struggle to afford it. How cool is that?
Yeah.
I think we covered that when they first opened.
Yeah.
Hard freezes the last couple of mornings has brought back the issue of cold weather shelters in the Springfield area. Yeah, there was ice on the windshields yesterday morning, possibly again today. Don't know yet. Haven't been out there, but watch out. There are several overnight shelters that operate, of course, when the temperature hits 32 degrees or below. Volunteers are needed to help from now through this cold weather season at those overnight shelters. So give them a call if you can help. It officially begins tomorrow.
Yeah, it's interesting that the cold weather shelters, the season, they don't start until November. So it's because it's odd for us to have this cold of weather this early on, but here we are. Five Guys is moving out of the Battlefield Mall. It is relocating. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. It's relocating to Battlefield Road between National and Campbell in a building that used to house Sushi Fork. So it's over there by, there's a Starbucks there and Jersey Mike's, I think. It's fairly close to Buffalo Wild Wings. Five Guys has been in the mall for 10 years, and that was its first and only location in Springfield. Right? No. There's another Five Guys. Yeah.
Is there?
I think it's up by 44 and
Okay, maybe.
it's Expressway.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've driven that way.
Yep. Now that Halloween is here, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at Silver Dollar City and in our office. A giant Christmas tree is now in place in the town square, and millions of lights are being strung all over SDC. Silver Dollar City's old-time Christmas begins on Saturday, but that doesn't stop Sarah from celebrating this morning.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, so I'm just going with it for my Halloween costume. So here's your Halloween stories. Are you ready? There are lots of things to do tonight. If you have any princesses or superheroes in the family, the Roundtree Parade's at 5:30 this evening. It starts at Weller and Delmar and ends at Madison, where the trick-or-treating happens. If you're looking to stay warm, James River Church is putting on its annual October 31st party from 6 to 9 inside at all of the campuses in Ozarks, Springfield, and North Springfield. There will be inflatables, a dance party, and lots of free kettle corn and candy. Should be a good time indoors. All right, no doubt there will be lots of couples dressed up as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift this year. Our daughter at one point was Travis Kelce. She just borrowed a football jersey for her swim team party. Anyway, the Broncos trolled the Chiefs and Kelce and Swift by blasting a song at the end of their win, which is kind of funny. They beat the Chiefs for the first time in about 17 games, which that's not funny. But guess what? The Broncos then played Shake It Off as time ran out. So that's pretty good.
That is pretty good, actually. I mean, it was an ugly.
I mean, it stinks that they lost, but
yeah, and they lost terribly. It was horrible. The game was awful. And then to have the Broncos haven't had much to celebrate. They've lost 16 in a row to the Chiefs, so they took the opportunity to troll,
rub it in,
Kelce, which I think that's a pretty funny bit. I think that's funny.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great Tuesday. Bundle up. By my calculation, bundle up. But check out your wake up weather with Abby Dyer, and she can give you all the details for timing for tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be chilly. I'll be holding down the fort at home, passing out candy to the hoodlums that run throughout the neighborhood, and Sarah will be out with our little hoodlums, I think.
I will be trying to collect peanut M&Ms, probably. That's typically what I do. I don't want anything else. I won't waste my calories on anything else, people. But
I take the Twix and Almond Joy.
One of my neighbors, our neighbors, I should say, gives away full-size candy bars. So really, I try to just go there, and I'm done. I'm done.
Wait a minute, I didn't know that.
Where have you been?
Well, I've been in the house, holding down the fort, handing out candy to hoodlums.
She's the real deal, man. She's the real deal.
All right. Well.
All right.
Give me a Twix. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great Halloween, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Halloween. It is Tuesday, October 31st. And it's scary cold outside. We have temperatures in the low 20s this morning. So bundle up if you haven't stepped outside yet. You probably had to switch the heater on. The house is getting pretty cold around the area, and with temperatures in the low 20s, yeah, that'll do it. Anything that did not get a killing freeze last night, well, you have it this morning. Pretty much for the entire area, we are now seeing an end to the growing season. Low 20s, that is a deep freeze, and now we are going to start seeing those ground temperatures drop as we head closer to the winter season. More freezing temperatures, though, on the horizon, not just this morning. We, of course, are waking up to the low and mid 20s area-wide this morning, but I've got another cold day tomorrow, and there could be some teens out there to start the day on Wednesday. So frighteningly cold, kind of fitting on this Halloween. We have a dry sky that's going to be with us today. That's the good news that I have. No rain for the trick-or-treat time. However, full sunshine is going to be out. We've also got a strong north wind today. So not just is the temperature a concern, the wind chill is a concern. Today, tomorrow, even into portions of Thursday, I think we have really chilly temperatures to start us off in the morning. We are talking feels like temperatures down in the teens and low 20s this morning. Feeling like 30s later today, even though we have temperatures that make it close to about 41 for the high temperature. That's the high temperature forecast for your Halloween. A north wind, though, behind a frontal boundary, well, that's going to be gusting to 25 miles an hour. That's the reason that I've added these wind chill headlines to the forecast today. If you are trick-or-treating, you just absolutely must bundle up. It's not an option. And we're going to be adding gloves to the costumes this year. It's going to be really cold. Of course, earlier the better if you can get out when the temperatures are still in the 30s, but we drop to the 20s by 8 p.m. tonight. So any late trick-or-treaters, you just prepare for the really cold weather if you're doing that late night candy roundup. By 5 p.m., temperatures will be in the mid 30s to low 40s. It comes with a north breeze, so feeling more like 30s through this entire time frame. By 6 o'clock, they drop to about 34 degrees. We're below freezing by 7 p.m. It is going to be incredibly cold this Halloween evening. Even just opening the door to give candy tonight is going to be cold. You might want to have the coat on just by standby if you live in a busy neighborhood. I have temperatures that then recover a bit for us as we head closer to the middle of the week. And then we're back at normal by the end of the week and the weekend. It's really just kind of this 3-day stretch with incredibly cold air in place, but at least we have the dry time, right? It's not going to rain on Halloween. I guess, what would you prefer? The incredibly cold temperatures or the wet conditions? I think I would pick the cold. I don't know. Ask me tomorrow because tonight's going to be pretty chilly. Temperatures do return to normal, though, by the end of the week and into the weekend, so things will be feeling much, much better for us by then. I do have my eye on tomorrow morning's low temperature. I think we could set a new record in some places. The forecasted low temp is 21 degrees tomorrow morning. The record is 22, set back in 2014. So we could get there. It's going to be really a tight race, but probably we're going to break that record in many communities across the Ozarks. So prepare for the even colder weather to settle in early tomorrow morning. Like I said, this has been a killing freeze. Today, we are done with the growing season. But if you've been preserving any of those really sensitive plants, you're going to have to do that again tomorrow morning if you want to keep them around. Bring them inside. My potted things are now living in the house. Temperatures today, 41, as I mentioned, for the high on this Halloween. It comes with a north wind. Temperatures tomorrow, they get back into the upper 40s. We're in the 50s by Thursday and 60s return for us on Friday. So it is going to be a pretty quick warm up and turnaround here as we head closer to the weekend. It also looks dry for the foreseeable future. I have dry conditions sticking with us through the weekend, which is okay because all the soggy rain, it really has things pretty muddy across the Ozarks, and we could use the time to dry out now. And that's what we're going to see. All right, it is time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question, sponsored by Scooters Coffee this morning. Thank you, Scooters. Here's the question that I left you with yesterday, a Halloween question. What's another name for a lycanthrope? Do you think it is A, a bat, B, a black cat, C, a fungus, or D, a werewolf? Well, if you went to the website and you answered D, werewolf, you are now entered to win a $20 gift card to Scooters Coffee. We give one away every single day, so you could be a winner too. Make sure you head to the website, answer tomorrow's question that I'll show you in just a minute, but you could be a winner too, just like Andy, Tammy, Sunday, Caitlin and Stephanie, who were our 5 winners from last week. So big congratulations to you folks. We'll be contacting you privately to make sure we know where to get your gift cards. Here is your question for tomorrow. If you want to enter to win, the snowiest city in the world is in which country? Do you think it is in A, Russia, B, Canada, C, Greenland, or D, Japan? The snowiest city in the world is in which of these 4 countries? Take a stab at it. Head over to aroundtheozarks.com. That's where you can submit your guess to win $20 to Scooter's Coffee. Start your workday out on a really nice note with a nice cup of warm coffee. I need to go refresh mine this morning. It is going to be a chilly day. Find some way to stay warm. Bundle up. Happy Halloween. Thank you for listening. I'll be back with you early tomorrow morning. And if you need weather information through the day, make sure you check out that forecast. You can do that over at aroundtheozarks.com. Check out that trick or treat forecast. And I'll catch you again early tomorrow morning.